All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Shifter's Cove, where I am with my guest Serenity, and today we are introducing and discussing the topic about reality shifting. Thank you for coming on, and thank you so much again, Serenity, for coming on. You're my first guest. I don't know where this channel is going to go, but I hope nothing but success. So, thank you.
Nothing but success too.
Okay,
And it's no problem.
so the first question I have for you is, how did you learn about shifting, and kind of tell me like how did you come to enter this world of reality shifting?
Well, it happened a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a pretty kind of bad place, and then I heard about reality shifting, and like every however year old, when you first learned, you were like, oh, I want to go to this reality or this
Yeah.
TV show or this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
But now I'm more focused on like trying to get to a version of this world that's kind of better,
Mm-hmm.
where stuff's not quite so crappy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So, was it something at first that you were a little bit like, y'all are joking, this can't be serious, or did you like really have like a certain belief, like, yeah, there's probably some truth to it?
It was a little bit of both, because when I was younger, we all imagined like breaking the TV screen and going into our favorite TV show, I feel.
Yeah.
And like, so I was like, oh, it's like this. But then the more logical part of my brain was like, there's no way this is real, there's no way this works, all that negative stuff.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I remember for me when I first heard about reality shifting, I'd even used TikTok before, so I was kind of like, "Oh, great! What are these kids up to now?" And I was looking into it. So people were like, "Oh, I can visit Harry Potter." Like Harry Potter, what are you talking about? There's a book and a movie, but you can't like go. But as I started looking more into it myself, and even started to like try to learn more about shifting and even attempting to do it, it started to ferment my belief, which I will share more as we go through the show today. But yeah, shifting, I learned about it myself too, like 2 years ago, and it's been an on and off thing for me lately. But yeah, so your overall goals of shifting, as you mentioned, you want to enter something similar to our current reality, but um more kind of detailed in what you want specifically, right?
Yes. Yeah, pretty much.
Do you have like any other DRs per se that you might have an interest in, or you kind of more so want to stay in the like the more similar to our kind of reality type of DRs?
Um, I can't right now. I can't right now.
It's okay. I can cut it out if you need to.
Hello. Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I do have one other DR, and it's to this anime thing,
Ooh,
but
okay.
it's from like 2 years ago, and I've since rewritten like a bunch of stuff for it, and it's just like, yeah, now I have one that's like fantasy for my own pleasure, I guess, or whatever. And then I have one that's just like, I want to go here when stuff gets too much, when I'm scared, when I'm worried, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I also have an anime DR. It's like it's kind of funny. I got really creative like over the summer 2 years ago, where I would find one of my animes and I made it my main DR, but I started scripting other animes in a way. So it's like all like a big like world of shared animes. It was very interesting, very fun. It's kind of really interesting
That
scripting
sounds
things.
very
Always,
interesting.
yeah. How do
Sounds,
you script or go ahead?
yes, I script, but I try not to script too much because I'm afraid that'll like ruin my
Complicated.
chances, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people, from what I hear, some people say that scripting more details kind of aligns you more towards this specific DR, but I definitely feel you because I try not to go over 2 pages myself because I'm so nervous that it's just gonna make it so hard to get that specific DR one. So I definitely feel you on that one.
I'm actually, yeah, I'm actually really weird about it. Like, I scripted my eye color, my flippin' eye color, and not like how I live, what
Yeah.
class I'm in, none of that. So
One
yeah.
thing I always found interesting about shifting to an anime DR is like how would it look because to us anime is 2D, so it's gonna be flat. And like I'm curious, like if we when we shift there, like would it be flat or would it be like 3D ish? Like how it is kind of now, but like still retain a sort of anime-ish look. That's one thing I always found interesting about anime DRs.
In my DR, hold on, let me see if my thing will pull it up.
Okay.
In my desired reality, characters will appear to be 100% realistic. Characters will appear as they would in the real world. Similar realistic characters will be 3D, but look like they do in the 2D world.
Oh, that is cool.
That's
That is
probably,
really, really cool.
yeah. Um, that's from like a few years ago. I wanted to like edit that so it makes a little bit more sense because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's a jumble of words there.
I pretty much get the general idea where you're going with it, yeah. But that's definitely like I actually might try to take that concept and try to write it in my anime script too. That's definitely seems like something that'll make it easier to like visualize, really. Um, so in your 2 year shifting journey, have you really had any like success? Like, and not, I know you haven't like shifted yet, but like, have you ever had any close calls or any events that kind of like fermented
Uh,
your belief?
Actually, a few days ago, I did have a close call. I got pretty close. I was hearing things. I was like
Ooh.
smelling the things I said I'd smell once I get there.
Hmm.
And then I moved and like half woke up, and then I was like, oh crap, I ruined it.
Were you trying to do the Raven method or something similar to that?
I do the ADHD method because I have a
Oh,
lot of
nice.
problems focusing.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah, I remember my. It's funny. My first shifting attempt that I tried, it was the closest I've ever gotten. I was trying to shift
same.
to the TV show Supernatural with Sam and Dean and all that, and I remember
Yep.
our script. I scripted that like when I'm in the process of shifting, I will be like in the car. I'll feel myself moving, like you know how cars shake a little bit when you drive. It's so funny, like laying
Yep.
there for 30 to 40 minutes. I got really dizzy and I got really spinny, and some lights started flashing in my eyes. Telling you, I'm not lying at all. The light started like really. I'm like, where is this light coming from? Because I'm in a pitch black room, like 2:30 in the morning. So I knew something was happening. It was really cool. And I even heard I heard one of the characters. I think it was Dean. Like, oh, he said he's waking up. And then after I got really spooked because I was sitting in a quiet room, in the middle of the night, nobody else around me, and that really spooked me. So I woke up and that kind of ruined my chances of fully shifting, I guess. But it's always so funny. I hear a lot of people say that their first times attempting to shift is their closest. Do you what keeps you motivated? Like, what keeps your belief in shifting after 2 years? Because I can see like in our shifting subreddit, like a lot of the energy isn't as much as it used to be. There's still people here and there
I
talking
know.
about it, but it's like it's just not the same anymore. So, is there something that keeps you going when it comes to shifting?
The reason that people aren't like talking about it is because there are so many people criticizing it, so many people
Hmm.
laughing at them, saying that it's not real. They don't understand. It's literally like another form of lucid dreaming, which is like,
Yes.
um,
Yeah.
I think what keeps my morale highest is the imagination that the image in my head that I can change what I want to change
Hmm.
about myself, about the world around me, and still be able to live in that, not just have it be thrown away into the trash bin.
Right. Yeah. I definitely agree. You know, it's funny. Like, so I wanted to ask you like know about the law of attraction or manifesting or stuff like that, or no?
Yes? Yeah,
Yeah.
I know about it.
So when you think about it, like there was a time where me and you were like both unaware of it, and like when we heard about it, we probably thought it was crazy. But I'm assuming that you manifested stuff in your life before, right?
What? Sorry.
Oh
My,
no, that's okay. Did you like have you ever manifested anything in your life before?
mm, when I was like littler, um,
Mm-hmm.
my grandparents were having a few money troubles, and
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't pay for my grandfather's medication, and so I
Right.
was like hoping really hard, doing all this stuff that I now realize was like a form of manifesting. And then the
Mm-hmm.
next day, there are miraculously $200 more in their bank account.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. And my
My,
point bringing. Oh, go ahead. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Go ahead. It's okay. You can go ahead. Sorry for cutting you off. I didn't mean to.
Oh no, no, I was done. You can keep going.
Oh, yeah. What I was gonna say is like, my point being is like, at first we didn't even know that stuff existed. You know, we never knew about the law of attraction or stuff like that. But over time, there are own ways we got to like experience it in our own ways to like kind of like validate its existence in a way. Because like when you think about it, if you think about the concept, oh, if you focus and you put feelings into something so much, it'll come into your life in a certain type of way. You'll sound crazy, but it definitely worked for me and it definitely worked for other people. It's not just people lying. So I kind of look at it the same thing with shifting. Like, it's something that you really can't prove until you experience it yourself. So there are definitely going to be a lot of people who still doubt shifting and still make fun of it. But I think it's one of those things where, like, you won't know it until you try it. Just like astral projection or like lucid dreaming. I never lucid dreamed before. I never astral projected before, but I definitely believe in it because there's just so many people talking about it and all that. But yeah,
Mhm. Sorry, I realized you can't see me nodding, and I'm just like, yep, yep, nodding my
yeah,
head over here.
yeah, for sure. Let me think. I want to ask so much. This is my first podcast. So I'm still a little rusty, still learning my, my whole skills or asking question
Yeah,
skills. But um, what do you?
ask away.
Let me think. Okay. Um, so what do you think about the topic of some people think the topic of respawning or stuff like that is controversial. I wanted to know your personal opinion about it if you had one or you wanted to talk about it.
Um, I don't see respawning as bad per se. It's like I don't completely understand it, so I don't think I can have a full opinion on it.
Right.
Then again, we don't really have a full understanding of most stuff related to reality shifting. We know the basis of how to get there, and then after that, it's just gone to the wind, I guess.
Yeah, it's so interesting that like there's such a controversy behind it because what I understand from it, I didn't look too much into it because I'm not really planning to like respond or anything. It's like it's somebody who willfully chooses to not ever come back to their other reality. They kind of choose to stay in their reality. But I think some controversy of it comes like people think like you're throwing away your current reality life, and this is not the case. I don't know why there's so
Oh,
much
you mean like
controversy.
perma shifting?
Yeah,
You mean
yeah,
like perma shifting? That's probably like a dumb name
yeah,
for it. But
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, imagine it like this. You should be able to do what you want with your life. And imagine there's this kid being horribly abused, but then they can go to a reality where they're loved and they have people who care about them. Would you really
Exactly.
tell that kid, no, you can't do that because you have stuff here you need to do?
Yeah, I totally agree. It's just like there are some people who are less fortunate than others who live in this reality where it's really rough for them, and the only escape that they can realistically have, especially if they're younger, is to like shift. So, I mean, I'm all for it. I mean,
Yeah.
as long as you like, as long as, in my opinion, and disclaimer to anybody who's listening, reality shifting is such a wonderful topic to discuss, but make sure you're not neglecting your current reality. Make sure to take care of yourself the best you can, even if your circumstances in life aren't the greatest. You don't neglect what you have.
Yes.
For so please,
Please don't.
yeah,
Please
definitely,
take care of yourself. Please
yeah,
don't get yourself hurt. Please
yeah, yeah.
make
Make
sure your
sure.
mental health is in the best state to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Because imagine leaving when you're at your greatest here. You're going to a whole nother like area. It's so amazing. Like, yeah, just please, because I see a lot of people who like only focus on shifting, especially in like the Reddit. I'm sure you might have seen something similar, but like, oh, I'm so tired of this reality. I just want to go, go, go. I'm just like, I mean, I definitely understand, but it just always makes me feel sad because you see people like kind of wanted to throw away their lives here, but it's just really not something I don't think they should necessarily do entirely. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Do you have any? This is always an interesting question that some people do, some people don't. But do you have anybody you look forward to seeing in your DRs, or like maybe a SO or a friend or something, maybe?
Um, Most of my friends, they're online, so
Oh, right.
I don't think I will be showing them. And my significant other, I don't like stressing them out because it's like, no, it's fine, hon. You don't have to worry about it.
Right.
I'm a little weird on it. My sister might when she's a little bit older and can understand it better, but other than that, then no.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, I have a few realities that I have in mind to go to. You know, it's weird like having an SO. Like it's like you don't really know them yet, but in a way, like I don't know. It feels weird when you script your relationship with somebody. In a way, I don't know why. It feels very odd
Yeah,
to me. And
it's
I
like you
yeah.
you're putting everything you want into a relationship with them, and it's like you don't have to worry about it too much.
Hmm. Yeah, it's very interesting. And going a little deeper into the topic of shifting, there are a lot of people who use different methods of like trying to get closer to their DRs, like channeling or doing tarot readings, stuff like that. And I personally did try a little bit of both. Have you ever heard about channeling or doing tarot readings when it comes to shifting, or you kind of kept it more of a personal journey with yourself?
Kept it more of a personal journey, definitely.
Yeah, it's a definitely a big world when you kind of enter that tarot and channeling type of stuff, and if you're not careful, you know, it is a lot. But yeah, it's funny when you mentioning about like I'm not sure if you heard, but like there are some people who like write channeled letters when it comes to shifting, and it's a whole like process to describe, but pretty much like it's kind of like you're manifesting your letter to somebody in your DR. And I definitely written like I have a whole like journal. I would show the screen, but it would be hard to. I have a whole journal what I written to like different people from my DRs, and it's funny. After you finish writing your letter, you ask to leave a specific sign for them to show you in your current reality. And no lie, I can probably even send you a picture to Reddit after to prove it. Like one of my letters I written to one of my DR people and asked specifically to see two cardinal birds, which I'd never seen in my general area of my life and where I live. But the day after, two cardinal birds were sitting on the little grass, like right in front of me, and it was crazy because it's like, oh wow, that's my sign that I asked for. So in a way, that kind of validated shifting even more to me in a way. It's a very interesting process, but if anybody's interested,
I've never,
go ahead.
I never really thought of writing letters to people in my DR to try and like put me in that mindset. But
Yeah.
I do think I'll try that. So thank you for telling me about that.
Yeah, I think there's a YouTuber called Greenland, and she talks about how to do it. So it's if anybody's listening, you can go to YouTube and type in like Greenland shifting channel letters, and maybe that might be something that interests you. But definitely, like only if you're interested. You don't have to do any of that. You know, it's just another way you can potentially connect with your DR. But yeah, let me think. What else can I ask you? Um. Is there anything like that you still feel confused or you might want elaboration with shifting with? Because there's a lot of questions that anybody can really ask, but like, are there some that you really kind of always find yourself asking?
Yeah. I find myself asking, um, how is this literally right next to us? Because that's how everyone put it.
Hmm.
How do people have such a good mindset that they can shift quickly, easily, effectively? How do people manage to find the best resources when I spend hours and hours searching through website after website? I can't find anything that'll make it more effective for me. And then those were all questions I had for a while, and then I realized, oh wait, it's different for literally everybody.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, I know. I feel like one question I always ask, and I'm sure you can agree with me, like when we see people who successfully shifted, I always ask like, why do you come back to our current reality? Like, especially like, I mean, of course, not everybody's gonna perma shift, but like, if I found myself actually like successfully shifting, like, I probably won't come back for a very, very long time. But it seems like with these shifters who shift pretty easily, they always come back. Like, do you think like after a while, once you become a master at it, you just kind of like don't really like you don't feel concerned about not being able to shift back, and that's why they always come back to our current reality? Or do you think it's just like I don't know, it's a very odd situation? I don't know why.
Um, I think after a while you don't worry about it, but I also think it would get pretty boring there, especially depending on how much or how little you script. If you scripted literally the bare minimum, like, I'm going to blah, 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 my name is Zach James, and then nothing else, then you'll probably not come back for a while. But if you script like so much, you're going to get bored of it because you know exactly what's going to happen. So I think it really just depends.
Yeah, that's the beauty about the shifting journeys of everybody. Everybody's journey is unique to themselves, and it's you can't really generalize it because everybody's story is different. They have different beliefs. They have different morals. For example, I'm not sure if you saw, like, I don't know why it's such a big controversy personally, but on the subreddit there was some, I guess, some drama or something about race changing, but it's just like, if you look at it
Yeah, that
like,
was.
it's so
I
weird.
don't know why they got so mad over that. Like,
Yes.
that's like saying, I don't know, just dumb. I can't even think of something that's as dumb as that. It doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt somebody.
Exactly. I mean, it's like, for example, serenity. Like, if you, in another reality, your name is like completely different. What's wrong with you accepting how you are in that reality? It was like, oh, you can't use that name, or you can't look this way, you can't have that hair, you can't have that skin. It's so
You can't
weird
have
because,
those eyes.
yeah, it's just, it makes no sense. Like, especially with the others who, like, why are you so concerned with somebody else's DR and what they look like? It's not like you're gonna shift
How
there
about
with
I
them.
poke through yours? How about I pick out every single thing I don't like about it? And there are a lot of people's DRs that I find very questionable, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, girl.
Oh my God. Yeah, some people like. There's also a big controversy, like people like going to specific DRs to like go like call something like chaos and like Jesus. Like, I mean, to each his own. I mean, if that's what you want to do, I mean, it's your DR for a reason. I don't know. I want to go
I've
around
been
this.
working on a script. I've been working on a script that's just for like chaos.
Hmm.
Like, I can go to whatever I want and just can blow stuff up as much as I want.
Exactly. You know, I mean, everything. Like, I remember like people like being concerned about shifting because, like, if you shift to a place like Star Wars or Marvel, like Star Wars, for example, like if you're getting chased by stormtroopers, you're not going to sit there and not shoot back. You gotta like defend yourself. So like people are like, I remember it used to be bigger than what it was now. Like, yeah, they have a problem with, like, defending themselves or doing in the combat or accidentally killing somebody. It's like you're evil defending yourself.
They don't they don't consider that. They consider what's in this world, what they find acceptable in this world. We aren't having giant intergalactic space monsters trying to kill us. We don't have people. We don't have fucking Thanos threatening to snap away half of reality.
Exactly. Oh my god. I remember speaking of like the MCU, I have an MCU DR, and I'm kind of like a little bit like I have a moral thing, like unless it's completely necessary, I won't harm anybody, like, because I'm also like a spider person per se. I'm like a second Spider-Man besides Peter, and like
Yeah.
I just try to keep it like realistic because like you're gonna have times where you have to like when you think about it, like
Yeah.
when you look at like
Somebody.
Batman, every time he puts Joker in Arkham, he breaks out every time and causes more problems. So I think it just really depends. Like, as long as you're not going out just doing it just to do it, and it just, I don't know. It's a very interesting topic, but to each his own. But I just honestly like it's just so funny how people get worked up on so much little stuff and shifting. Is there any
Yeah. Sorry,
Go ahead.
I keep doing my nodding thing, and I'm like,
No,
ugh.
I got you. I understand. I kind of do the same thing. Like I'm kind of tense because I'm like, oh wait, am I on camera or something? But no, I'm not. But I'm trying to get more loose and relaxed. But if you how far do you want shifting to go? Like, is it one of those things like you'll temporarily do and then like just choose one reality to stay in, or you see yourself kind of moving around different realities, like exploring like endless possibilities, really?
I definitely want to explore like multiple realities. I'm not that one type of person who can just like, okay, I'm focused on this and this alone. No, I have, I say this a lot. I have like 40 different trains of thought, and each of them come within a millimeter of crashing into each other, but they don't, and so they just swerve, and it's like chaos in my brain. If you expect me to sit there and pay attention on one thing and one thing only, you're going to be sorely disappointed.
Yeah, yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah, I understand. It's just like after a while, like that's why I've created like I have two DRs, like the anime one and the MCU one. Like I just can't see myself sitting at either one of them. And after a while, I'm gonna start spitting out more. It's just like um, I don't know. I definitely like when you can visit any reality, any situation, and any possibility. Why hold yourself back? You know, sky's the limit.
Yeah. Like, you could put yourself wherever you want.
Hmm.
You could change everything about yourself. You could change, like, literally everything about the world around you. Why would you just focus on one thing, one mundane thing?
Yeah.
It's gonna be mundane after a while, you know,
Yeah, cause
and
I
boring.
remember, I'm sure you remember this too. Like when shit thing first came out, there was these people always talking about, oh, I wanna smash Draco or whatever. I'm just like, okay, so you figure out that you can travel to different realities, any reality that you can, but you're only traveling to the Harry Potter reality so you can like get with Draco. I always found that pretty funny, especially like when it first started getting popular.
That's, look, if I went to the Harry Potter world, I'd wanna smash George
Hmm.
Weasley and then get the hell out
Yeah,
of there.
and to each his own. Yeah.
Because honestly, that world is like so chaotic with so many manipulative people.
Hmm.
Like, I'd go for my favorite Weasley and then leave.
No judgments there.
Probably tried to take him with me.
Yeah, I can't speak myself. I can't speak for anything because I have some of my DRs. I have multiple SOs, and that's definitely controversial to some people. It's like you should only be in one relationship. I don't know. It's definitely interesting. So I can't lie. I'm going there to some of my DRs for some 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 certain type of reasons, but you know yeah, it's
My reasons are a little questionable too, but hey, I don't really
yeah,
care.
exactly. It's your reality.
Like, it's my DR, my life, my my whatever. It's not yours. You do what you want with your life, and I'll do what I want with mine.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Do you have any like sort of like fears and shifting at all, or any like worries, whether that's actually in your DR or is it
Um,
just kind of like any other general fears at all?
I do have a few fears. Like, one of my main ones is, what if I get stuck there when I desperately want to go home? Like, I'm sure you've seen those TikToks where
Hmm.
it's like, oh, Loki found my script and he rewrote it. No, I'm worried about my safe word not working and I can't get back.
Yeah.
Like, no one's fucked with my script. I'll check it. It's the same and I can't get there and I'll be terrified. And then there's the fear that it will work
Hmm.
perfectly and I won't want to leave
Yeah.
because
Yeah, that's the thing. Like honestly, Serenity, if I shift to like right now, I don't even remember my safe words so easy in my DR, so I'm kind of like screwed if I if I shifted right now. So I'd be stuck there. That's my concern. It's like, oh God, it's just like with shifting. Like you always want to make sure that you're ready when yeah, when you're ready when you shift. But honestly, the way it sounds like when people shift is like it's randomly shift, like they randomly shift, like they didn't expect it. You know, so that's one of my concerns. Like you're never really ready when you shift. You know, you just go along with the ride as soon as you go there.
yeah,
Um, yeah, for
I feel like they focused
yeah,
too much on it and unconsciously like did a method
yeah,
and instead of like, and you know, a lot of that's like kind of
yeah.
crap because like there's no way you don't expect shifting, especially if you're focusing on it so much. So like it's a really weird topic for me. I'm
Oh no,
sorry.
no, no. I totally understand. It's from what I can see from reading, assumingly if they're telling the truth, successful shifting stories. It seems like whenever anybody shifts, it's because they kind of detached in a way that they just don't really try to expect anything, and that's when it ends up happening. So it's always an interesting
Yeah.
thing to learn about how people end up shifting. But yeah, for me, it's just like sometimes I'm like I don't even know if I want to shift to the places that I mentioned because, for example, in my MCU
Because of the risk that comes with it.
yeah, yeah, because in my MCU I'm definitely like, cause I'm a Spider-Man type of character. I'm definitely gonna be like involved in like the No Way Home kind of situation. And what's scary about that is like I'm assumingly going to have to meet like Willem Dafoe's Goblin. And what's scary about that for me is like I don't know how to react because I used to watch those Spider-Man movies when I was younger and it used to scare the shit out of me. So honestly, I don't know like it'll be kind of scary for me because like if you're in dangerous situations, you have to face people who can actually like harm you. That we, I mean, of course, people can harm us in our current reality, unfortunately. But like in a reality like the MCU, where people have superpowers and all that stuff, it's like really, really scary thinking about it.
It's multiplied by like a
Yeah, so
thousand.
I'm just imagining.
It's
Yeah,
the dangers are
yeah, I'm just imagining like getting chased by Willem Dafoe's Goblin throwing bombs at me, and I, I get scared every time thinking about it. Or even web swinging. Like I'm already afraid of heights, so like imagine if I shift randomly and I'm in the middle of the sky swinging, I might freak out and like fall to my death or something. It's just like, oh god, like shifting to, yeah.
bleh, no more
Hmm.
Galaxy.
Yeah, it's definitely it's so fun but also scary at the same time. Um, let me think. Let me think. We got to get this conversation. We got to keep it going because it's really good.
Yeah, it's good. I want to go back to hold
Okay.
on, my brain just
Oh
stopped
yeah,
for a
take your
second.
time.
Anyway, I want to take a second to go back to climate shifting. I feel like I was a little bit
No,
rude
no,
there.
yeah,
I didn't mean to say nobody cares about your opinion on other people's
yeah,
scripts. I meant like you shouldn't try to nitpick things that people specifically
yeah,
want, that people specifically want that they can't have in their
yeah,
life. Like it's weird, and my opinions on shifting change like every
yeah,
day. Like, and it's like so dumb because it's like I'm usually like very decisive. My opinions stay put, but like with this, you can't. Like anyway, what were you gonna ask?
Oh, no, that's like I kind of forgot my train of thought because I was just listening to what you were saying. But yeah, really, it's just like disregarding the people who don't overall believe in shifting. Like, it's hard for me to like kind of critique like people's like opinions or outlooks on it because it's like really like it's really subjective and like especially with shifting because you know it's kind of personalized in a way that nobody can ever really truly understand you and your relationship with shifting besides you. So yeah, permanent shifting, it's always an interesting topic, but I try not to like really look too deep into it either because people want to have different opinions and different outlooks on what they should and shouldn't do.
Mm.
You can't really control it, or you shouldn't really want to control it either. Yeah. Um.
I'm probably gonna get like a bit of backlash
Oh
for it.
boy.
But
Yeah.
you know that game, the the Your Boyfriend game, like with the serial killer person, whatever, Greg
I
Offboulder.
haven't heard about it, but go on about it. I would love to hear this.
So he's basically a psychopath. He tries to kill you. He cuts off your legs in a
Hmm.
warehouse. All that good
Yeah.
stuff. I want to shift there really badly because like I love this man. Like I love
Hmm.
his character. I love how it's like. It's not like they just drew a stick figure, tossed him in. No, he has like a backstory. He has all this stuff about
Hmm.
him, and then there's all the canon stuff that I can pick him from that I want to add to the
Yeah.
canon. And yeah, I love the game in
Hmm.
general, and like it's fun watching him flip out.
Yeah.
He's actually one with that DR. He's the one I've gotten the closest to shifting with.
Ooh, that's cool. That's cool. So if I remember correctly, like it was one of your closest shifts, right? Or attempted shifts, if I remember correctly, right?
Yep.
Did you hear him say
Yep.
like specific things at all, or like any specific noises or anything?
Um, I didn't hear like specific words. I heard my name a few times. I heard some of the other people around me that are in the
Hmm.
game, and that's about it because like I flipped out. I was like, "Oh my god, it's happening right now! Oh my god!" And yeah,
Yeah. Before anybody says anything, because there's always gonna be obviously gonna be people who definitely believe that shifting is delusional or whatever. I mean, or they think you're messing with something you shouldn't mess with. I mean, even looking at like lucid dreaming,
with the loss of
yeah,
reality.
looking at lucid dreaming or astral projection subreddits or anything really, people say that they hear stuff all the time from their dreams. So I mean, kind of attributing that. So it's not anything we're messing with that's evil or something. I don't know what I've seen people. Some people talk about it, but it's just like I don't know. Before anybody says anything, it's probably just like how people hear things from their dreams. It's kind of just like that in a way too. So, it, I mean, I remember at one of my other shifting attempts, I was shifting to that anime I mentioned. Specifically, it's called Rosario Plus Vampire, and I heard like because all of them are my significant others in a way. I heard them arguing in the background, and I remember it was really funny. Like I remember feeling my knee getting slapped. He's like, "No, Ibrahim's mine. Let's go. I'm taking him out today." Because Ibrahim's my DR name. So yeah, it was so freaky, but also really cool at the same time. Like, cause it's just like when you're sitting in a room by yourself and like it's pitch dark, you don't hear anything. Yeah,
Feeling somebody touch you, feeling somebody
yeah,
talk
like
to you, talk about you. It feels like
yeah,
disorienting.
and it was really cool because like,
Shifting when you
oh,
get
go
the
ahead. Sorry.
symptoms,
Yeah.
it's like yeah,
Yeah.
disorientation. Sorry,
No,
I
no, it's
talked over
fine.
you.
We're just going through it. You know, we're just this is what podcasts are. We just talk freely and openly. You know. Yeah, it was weird like
Yeah,
hearing like especially since in this CR they're fictional and their voice actors are just voice actors. But it's weird hearing that specific voice actor say my name through that character. It was so freaky, but also really cool at the same time. Um, yeah. Let me think. Let me think. So, how do you think shifting is gonna go in the future? Do you think it's like gonna slowly die off, or will it kind of remain in this current status of how it is now? Because I feel like it's not dead. It's definitely not dead, but it's like the steam has definitely wore off a little bit. I'm sure there's some people that kind of feel like it's fake. I tried it. I'm gone. Or there's people kind of just like not talking about it anymore in fear of criticism. So how do you think this future state of shifting is going to go?
I, I feel like it's gonna go with every other popular
Hmm.
thing. It's gonna have its rises. It's gonna have its dips. It's gonna have its rises. It's gonna be the same for a while. It's not gonna just stay how it is forever
Yeah.
because there are people who have unintentionally shifted before. There was this guy on Reddit who was like, "Oh, I accidentally shifted about 2 to 3 years
Hmm.
ago, and I had like $2,000 more in my bank account, and something in the past happened in the
Hmm.
past." And I was like, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" And are definitely people who are faking it. There are definitely people who are never going to try it
Hmm.
again because it wouldn't work the first
Yeah.
time. And there are going to be people who straight up don't believe it. But then there are going to be the people who try it again and again and again, and then they're going to get it. They're going to tell their friends, and they're going to go into one of those groups, and then the community is going to grow or shrink. But it's not going to die. It's definitely
Yeah,
not.
definitely. It's in its ebbs and flows. I definitely agree. I mean, for me, I really stopped trying to shift for a while now because I'm like I definitely believe in it 100%. But I don't know. My motivation isn't as much as it used to be. I'm definitely so interested in trying to get there because every night I'll visualize my DR or whatever. But I think every once in a while I'll get that motivation to come back. But and try to research it again. I think with this podcast is it might bring back my love for shifting more. Bring making a family of shifters who can talk freely and openly about shifting together. Because I mean, of course, there are other shifting podcasts. But I would love to like just bring even more talking, but try to bring the discussions about it back. Try to bring some energy with it back. That's my goal with this podcast, and yeah, I mean. As we continue going on, I just want to mention you're always welcome to join in any episode or any topic really, because yeah, any
Really?
topic you can if you want to, you can always be my co-host too, like because I'm also looking for a co-host.
I really
Yeah,
appreciate that. I'd love to do that if it's
yeah,
okay with
yeah, I
you.
would love it. I would love it because I do have some more people lined up eventually. And it would be easy to have somebody else also asking some questions or kind of like driving in conversation too. And I would love to have somebody help me out with. Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, I just remembered something
Oh
really
yeah.
funny. Do you remember when you asked me if I scripted
Hmm.
when I shifted? when I first started shifting, um, I didn't have a script. I didn't have a thing. I just turned on some subliminals for the anime I wanted to go to, and I was out. And I had the stupidest dream that night. It wasn't like a lucid dream or anything. It was just like fucking chaos. Like everyone was doing something, and it was just loud and screaming. And I woke up in like a ball of anxiety. So I don't know what that was, but by far my most unsuccessful try ever.
Yeah. I definitely had a weird unsuccessful try too. Kind of similar to you. I had a subliminal on, and I just got finished watching some of my DR, like some like the TV show or the anime, to kind of help like bring the juices in of creativity and visualizing. And I remember I fell asleep, and like, and this DR is kind of like I have multiple romantic options, and I remember I was kind of like hanging out with one, and then another one of them came up, and like kind of like got really mad at us for hanging out. And I remember waking up like, oh shit, like I remember in my dream I said oh, and then I woke up I was like shit, and it was like oh my god, I felt shitty even though it wasn't. It was just a dream. It was like oh god, did I really like I really play with the heart like that? It's
like a fist fight goes
I'm
out.
like oh my god,
just like a fist fight, like boom, boom.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So do you like? I wish I could say I did, but like I don't dream about my DRs barely at all. I think the last time I ever dreamt about my DRs in like maybe a week ago. Do you at all?
I barely dream at all, really. I know people say you don't remember. I don't dream. I swear, I sleep and then boom, no dreams. So when I do, it's very rare. Like the last time I dreamed was like 2 to 3 weeks ago, and the last time I dreamed about my DR in particular was, I want to say a month or two ago, but I'm probably wrong because I can't count. So
I remember. I'm sure you're really aware of the MCU, but it was like the weirdest dream ever, and because I was thinking about my MCDR, but in this dream I don't really like remember my dreams entirely. I just remember like certain like images or small segments of it, but I remember like me, Yelena, and like I think her dad, Red Guardian, Hawkeye, and Thor, and Wanda. For some reason, we were like battling each other in a Walmart produce section. It was very weird. And it's like when you like, I don't know why my shipping dreams are very weird. I rarely get them, but when they are, they doesn't make any sense.
Oh my god, that's the best. I'm sorry, but it just seems like those weird catfic fan sections that are like all over Wattpad and AO3.
I remember Yelena picked up like a watermelon and threw it at my head, and that's when I woke up. It was something. Yeah.
My sister did that to me in real life once, and it was just like
a watermelon. Oh my
watermelon.
god! I can't even imagine that. Those things are huge. My god. Yeah.
It hurt.
I bet you were laying down on that head with some bandages or some ice for a while, huh? I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. It's crazy. Do you have any scenarios in your DRs that you feel comfortable sharing that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I do. So, in my DR, one of the characters canonically, sorry, I can't talk today. Canonically has a pet, and I have two significant others in this DR, and the pet got out. We couldn't find it, so we gave up with a lot of tears and stuff. And then this dude comes in and he's like, "Here's your pet." And then we started dating like 3 months after we became friends. So yeah, and then there's like one of the main characters I never really liked. So I just don't. They were manipulative, mean, rude, you know.
Yeah.
Wah. And so I said I egged his house and his mom's car, and we hated each other ever since. Like, not hated each other like I want to kill you, I want to, you know, but like
on site,
childhood enemies. I guess.
I see you scripting some beef there. I like that. some people like the DR to be perfect with no problems at all, but like I say, bring the problems. You don't want it to be perfect because perfect is boring.
Bring me the problems. I will deal with them
Yeah,
all.
yeah. For me, like I think one of the things I'm looking forward to when shifting is like meeting Wanda Maximoff because like I think in a way like because I'm a big introvert and I want to like I want to kind of save her from turning evil like how she did. Kind of like I mean because there's only so much you can get from trying to date a robot Vision. You know I'm just like oh really you can do better than that. But I do find it interesting.
You can
Yeah,
do way better.
I would love to meet Wanda and like and just get to know her, work with her. It's yeah.
Yeah. One of my biggest, like, I'm looking forward
Mhm.
to this type things is with my Your Boyfriend ship
Mhm.
script. Sorry. Um, and I just want to. There was this thing in the game that was like, you got to buy it for a limited time. It was out for
Mhm.
like a day. And it was like a very buggy
Yeah.
thing. But it's hard to explain. But like, he would try to kill like this person, but not this person because he knew it hurt
Mhm.
you more. But then that person would compliment you, and then he'd kill them, and then you'd fucking like abandon him or something. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed
No,
to curse
no,
on
go for it.
here.
Hey, we're free here. We can talk about whatever you want to, or talk how we want to. You know. Go ahead.
Anyway, yeah, I'm literally talking about blood, guts,
Mhm.
and murder.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like I said, yeah, he chopped your legs off in the
Yeah.
actual game. I can't remember if that's like a fan made game because like you can't post the whole thing
Mhm.
online yet, or if it was like canon. But anyway, in like the canon, he cuts your legs off and leaves you in a warehouse. Um, and he, yeah, and I just want to annoy the shit out of him when he does that. Like make him regret going for this one
Mhm.
kid.
So you don't fear him at all, huh? You don't
What?
fear him?
I don't fear him. I he he's like I don't feel fear for him. I'm not scared of him. I think I'd make him scared of
Oh,
me.
nice. Making that guy afraid of you is good. Because if I was around him, for me, I'd probably keep one eye open anywhere I am with him. To be honest. Yeah.
And then there's the part of my brain that just wants to like give him hugs and stuff because like I'm very touch
Hmm.
starved. And so yeah, I'm stuck between that, wanting to make him fear me but not
Hmm.
abusively, and wanting him to give me affection, give me love, you know.
So this character, he's the type two in canon, or is this kind of like more of like your DR script kind of affecting him?
Um, in canon, he was like he he's a stalker. He kills
Hmm.
people. He cut your legs off. He he threatens people around you. He's scary, but he's sweet to
Hmm.
you. Like what's that one word? Frickin' that one whole game,
Hmm.
yandere. He's like a
Oh
yandere.
yeah. So
And then in
mhm.
Fanon, he's like super sweet, like do me the pleasure of being your friend type
Yeah.
stuff.
So
And
if people
yeah,
wanted to look into this,
I want
go
to
ahead.
have uh, when I make my scripts, I like to keep a healthy mix of Fanon and
Hmm.
canon because like completely Fanon would kill like the vibes of you're in the
Yeah.
game, but completely canon would be like boring, you
Oh
know?
yeah, I agree. I remember, and no judgments to anybody at all with their DRs. This is one example. Like, wow, this is really fanning. I remember on a subreddit, and if you're watching this, please don't hate me. But I remember reading somebody's script, and I'm not making fun of them at all. But they mentioned that in their DR, like it's another MC one. But like they mentioned that like they're the child of like Steve and Bucky, and like and it had like a whole lot of specifics. like, and they ship with this person, that person, this person, and that person, X X X
Uh-huh.
X. I'm like, whoa, that is really fanning. I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but I mean, and then I mean, fanning or not, as long as people are happy. This is so interesting learning how people script their DRs. Some people don't really like, they don't care about canon, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But I always find it funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, don't hate on me, anybody listening to this. But like, I kind of like it when it's super fanon, like
Mm-hmm.
satirical. Like, oh, this person's with me, this person's with me. Like basically all the males, all the females hate him. Like super
Mm-hmm.
satire. Like you can tell they didn't write it seriously, and then they shift to it, and it turns out just as well as you think
Mm-hmm.
it will. And it's just like so freaking funny. Like I saw this one. I think it was a Harry
Mm-hmm.
Potter one, and it's like all of those stupid Wattpad stories
Oh
mixed into
God.
one. And so it's like Voldemort's my dad and my boyfriend, and I have like 4 billion children, and I got eaten, and my
Oh
mom's
my God.
dead.
Yeah.
And it's just
Now, wow.
it's just
Now that's a
funny.
DR. I don't even know what. Yeah,
That's a
now that's a
DR.
DR. Like when you sit there, like what do you like? How do you not just implode when you sit there with all that lore going on? You probably don't even know what's going on. But that's very interesting. Oh my God.
Honestly, um, Voldemort just seems like so crusty. Also, let me add this. You can cut this out or
Hmm.
whatever. But he was so dumb. He should have just like summoned a fucking like bazooka and just bombed Harry. No mother's love would have saved him from that.
Yeah. Oh man. Man, shifting is so funny. It's like I know that people are going to be people that don't believe in it. They'll make fun of us or say that you're crazy or something. It's just like I don't know. I just try not to take it too seriously. I have fun with it,
I,
really.
I like listening to them like you're crazy, and I'm like, why am I
Yeah.
crazy? And they try to like explain all this, thinking they know something, and then watching their baffled faces, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not how that
I
works.
mean,
But
like,
okay,
yeah.
like that's exactly what I said to this
Hmm.
one girl. She was being super rude about it, and I'm like, please describe what you think we do. And she's like, oh, you go there, you have sex with everybody, you leave, and then you do it again and again and again.
Uh,
And I'm like, that's
no,
not
well,
what anybody does,
no.
but okay.
I'm shifting to become a superhero. I mean, Wanda's cute now, but like, that's not all I want to do. Um, I want to be Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm shifting because like I'm shifting because I want to be chaotic with
Hmm.
Peter and like just I want to be an arsonist there. Like in my your
Hmm.
boyfriend world, I want to be an arsonist. I want to scare shit out of the cops, out of my roommate, out of my friends, and then I just want to go home and fucking watch stupid rom-coms with Peter, golf ball
Yeah.
man.
Oh man. I mean, I would think. What else? Oh, just forgot something that was really interesting. Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
no,
I'm sorry.
no, it's
I
fine.
need to
It's not.
stop
It's not your fault. It's not your
rambling.
fault. I mean, I'm expecting there's definitely gonna be comments of people like, "This is crazy. You're crazy. What are you doing? This is like satanic or something." And like, I don't know about you, Serenity, but I'm not talking about no devil. I'm not thinking about no devil or nothing like that. I'm just visualizing and scripting. That's all. That's all. That's all it is to me. It ain't no cult, no nothing like that, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, it ain't like I'm trying to do all this to just so they got like I
Yeah,
don't care. I don't. I'm not even like Christian or Catholic or whatever you
yeah,
want to call it. Um, like I don't care about religion. I just want to do
yeah.
this. I want to be able to talk to people who I genuinely admire. I want to talk to people who I don't feel afraid to be
Hmm.
around. And yeah, like so yeah, that's all there is to me
Yeah, I agree.
doing
Yeah,
it.
I mean that's one thing that kind of made me.
I mean, and to torture my friends, but
Yeah. That's one thing that kind of made me nervous to start this podcast, like, because I'm like, okay, there are definitely going to be people who are definitely going to disagree with this, or, kind of make this like, um, this is not right. You're deluding yourself or whatever. But I honestly, I just decided to go on with it.
you know, we might be
Yeah.
we might be deluding ourselves or whatever it's called, but like it doesn't matter. We're having fun. We're living our
I
lives.
mean, yeah.
And if it doesn't work, then
I
so be
mean, I
it.
think, yeah,
We lived, we
yeah,
learned, we
for sure.
laughed.
I mean,
We live, learn, laugh,
Yeah, for
love.
sure. I mean, I think you can agree with me. Like, I'm still living my life. I'm not neglecting my life at all. I choose my spots when trying to shift. I'm not like
It's not,
letting it consume my life or whatever.
yeah. I'm letting myself exist. I'm letting myself have friends in real life, have family, have connections with people. But I'm also like trying to do this for fun, for my own
Hmm.
gain.
Yeah. I mean, that's all it is to me. I'm not taking it so seriously. I mean, I remember when it first started, I used to be on the subreddit like almost every day, like, oh my God, this is so cool, this is so cool. But now I'm just like, I believe in it, but I'm not gonna put much pressure on it anymore. Yeah. Um, is there any specific topics you wanted to mention or bring up at all? Because this is really an open floor. We can go as long as you want. But is there anything you wanted to ask me or anything
Um,
specifically? Because I'm an open book, or maybe just bring up just to have a
I,
discussion about.
um, I actually do have a few questions.
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, shit. My headphones popped out,
No, that's
sorry.
fine. Yeah,
Anyway, I do have a few questions
yeah,
for you, if you're
yeah. I'm an
okay with
open
them.
book. Go ahead.
Um, how did you come across shifting?
Okay, so I remember, because I was kind of like, I kind of steered clear of TikTok. Not that I think there was something wrong with it, but it just wasn't really for me. I remember I was on YouTube. Yeah, a
Cringy.
little bit, but as I kind of lightened up, I definitely seen like a lot of funny shit from TikTok. So it definitely has this like, it has its purposes. But I remember I was going through YouTube and I saw this like shift talk or something. I was like, shift talk, what's that? Because I had like some like thumbnail of a girl and like talk, and it had like Harry Potter characters over like what's shift talk. So I clicked on it, and there's like, I mean, once I clicked on it, those type of videos, like I got thrown into the deep end. I'm like, wait, what are these people talking about? Well, Harry
Yep.
Potter. What do you mean you're going to go meet Draco and go do this and that or go cast spells? Like I'm so confused. So I started to look more into it. I'm like, oh, so these people are kind of like talking about dreaming or lucid dreaming, but like, oh, it's a little bit more than that. Like you actually like physically experiences these realities. So in a way, that's how I learned about it. And after learning a bit about it, like I got really excited and I wanted to have my own DRs that I always wanted to visit because I would have like I used to like you, I used to always imagine like being in these worlds with these characters and these people. Like I always wanted to be Spider-Man. Like when I was watching the original Spider-Man movies, I always wanted to swing around and have my own suit. So I really felt inspired after watching those videos. So I started like looking into like more scripting and went on Amino or Reddit. And, that's how I really discovered shifting. And it's been 2 years since, and I'm definitely glad I discovered it because it really brought, even if hypothetically, if I never shifted, and I'm fine with that if I haven't, but hypothetically, if I don't, I still had a lot of fun having creative energy with writing and scripting and just visualizing, really.
Learning all this stuff, making friends, meeting
Yeah,
people.
for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, yeah.
Um, so what do you think about Shift Talk saying Raven method is the best shifting method? Because I found it like complete
That's
bullshit.
actually a great, great question because I think honestly I had the most success with the Raven method. I only tried it a handful of times, but when I did, laying down, not moving at all, listening to a subliminal, I found myself having symptoms a lot more, like the flashing lights and the spinning around. Like every single time, I'm telling you, Serenity, every single time I tried like the Raven method, I would have those flashes and sudden urges spinning around. It was so weird because I remember one of my sessions when I tried to shift, I had headphones in and the subliminal was playing. And so all of a sudden, because it's been like 30 minutes or so, I was laying down. I've been still ever since, and um, the audio started to go really, really lower until it cut off, and I couldn't hear anything. And then I started like spinning around a lot. Is then the flashing lights started to appear. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So I think people like put too much like emphasis on the Raven method because like it's like you can't move at all, you can't do this, you can't do that.
It's different for
Yeah. I
everybody.
mean, honestly, you can move around with it. I mean, I did occasionally. I still got the symptoms, But honestly, to answer your question, yeah.
I, I
Oh, go ahead.
get I get twitchy when I
Oh
have to
God,
lay still. It's
oh
sitting
yeah,
still
I
in
hate
class
it.
is never my
I hate
strongest.
it
Like,
because I hate the method, but it did bring me more success. But like, I have like, I just have the urges to get like itchy nose or whatever, or itchy face. Like, oh God, I gotta scratch, but I won't. And so I think it's kind of like, I don't think it's worth laying down for an extended period of time trying to get those little symptoms or whatever. But hey, if it works for somebody, go for it. But for me personally, I don't really like go for it.
well, that was the last of my
Okay.
questions. Do you have any more for me?
Well, if you could ask, or wanted to bring any discussion for the commenters, if there's anybody, I mean, because we're starting off on a channel that's like 0 subscribers and everything, but if you had a question or a discussion that you can potentially ask our viewers to talk about in the comments, what would it be if you can think of anything?
I don't really have any questions
Okay, that's
for them,
fair.
but they're welcome to ask me
Yeah,
questions.
if you're listening to this, like 3 people or whatever, feel free to leave any questions in the comments below. And again, this is my new co-host Serenity. And before we go, I just want to say thank you for listening. And I really hope that this podcast takes off because my goal in the end is kind of to create a shifting family in a way where even you, the viewer, if you want to, you can come on, come talk, give your experiences or stories, or you can invite your friends. We can have like a group discussion, really. But if y'all have any questions or you want to come on the show, feel free to comment down below, and me and Serenity can try to set up something with you. But in the end, I just want to mention again, like, um, shit thing, it's a lot. Just make sure you take care of yourself in this current reality because that's what matters at the moment. You know, don't neglect any aspects of your life just for shifting. Take care of yourself, and
Don't
yeah.
focus only on what's in the future. You need to focus
Yeah, for
on the
sure.
now.
What it'll happen when it'll happen. You know, the greatest things for me that I wanted to happen, they happened when I least expected it. So, you know, just live your life, enjoy it, try to take care of yourself mentally, like Serenity said. And again, thank you guys so much for listening to the first episode of the Shifters Cove, and I hope to bring more episodes to y'all very soon.
Thanks for tuning
Yes,
in.
so we are signing off.
Talk to
Yep,
y'all
Galax
soon.
and Thank you so much, you guys, for coming on, and we will catch you on the flip side.